All right, so super excited. Just picked up this antique potbelly stove. Picked it up used, Facebook Marketplace. There's the base to it right there. But yeah, it's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And you know, considering its age, this thing dates back to the early 1900s, so it's probably close to 100 years old. But this isn't go inside the cabin. I'm gonna it needs a few things to be fixed, but overall I think it's gonna work just fine. All right, so we got in last night and or yesterday evening, and it was really cold. Snow is in the forecast, and it was actually really pretty. The sun was kind of just, you know, poking through the clouds, and there was you know, snowflakes falling. It was really nice, but really cold. And we're here now. We're here full time, you know, and it's time to start jumping on some projects and on the things that we feel is, you know, most important. And after sleeping in the cabin and just going through the nighttime with no heat source at all, no, like nothing, it was cold. So we decided today to start working on the cast iron stove that we got, the antique stove. And right now it's in pieces. It's upside down. The thing is crazy heavy. It's probably, I don't know, a couple 100 pounds fully assembled, and way too heavy for me and Ashley to, you know, lift up, go up the stairs and put it inside the cabin. So I had already wanted to, you know, restore it, take it all apart, polish it, clean it, make it, you know, really nice. But we don't have time for all that because it was really cold. So I'm like, let's just start getting into it and see how far we can get. And I tried to film earlier this morning, like when we first got started, but it was so cold that the GoPro wouldn't even turn on. It wouldn't stay on. So I got my electric grinder with the cutoff wheel, and I just been cutting off these old rusty bolts. You know, I tried to use some, you know, like WD-40, some rust penetrating lubricant, but it wasn't working. This thing was built probably in the early 1920s, and obviously it's been sitting outside and just, you know, has age, and it's just old and rusty, and none of these bolts were moving at all. So I was just cutting the nut part off and then punching the bolt through with the little center punch, and here it is, like in pieces. And so I've been disassembling and cutting it all apart, and then Ashley has been cleaning it up. We also got some it's hard to see, it's all dirty and nasty, but it's cast iron polish. So we got a liquid version and a paste version, and Ashley's just, you know, cleaning these up, and it actually looks really nice compared to how it looked before. So yeah, we have some other polish to try to get the brass to look a little bit nicer, but we're not going to do a full-on, you know, super nice restoration on it, which is what I would like to do. But we just want to try to get it up into the cabin and you know, get us some heat, because snow is in the forecast. It's supposed to be coming this way and get really cold, dropping down to the teens. I think it was getting down to like 18-19 degrees at nighttime, which for us is really cold, and especially with an uninsulated cabin, no insulation and no heat source at all. It's cold. It's really cold. But this is where we're at so far. And obviously we got the 400 watt solar panel going to our solar station right here, or our little solar bank, and it's working great, working perfectly. The next thing I'm going to start working on is the chimney part. So we don't have all the exact parts, so we don't know if it's even going to work yet, but this is the lid, this is the top part of it, and you can kind of see this oval shape. That's where the smoke is supposed to come out of. I don't have that exact part, but we found this on the property. You know, obviously it's round, not oval, but I think I can cut it and, you know, just kind of shape it to fit over this, because it does fit. You know, if you squeeze it, it'll fit over it for sure, but we'll see. We also found some 8-inch you know, like chimney piping over in the other pile of stuff, and they already cut a hole, you know, at the top of the cabin for the smoke to go outside. So we're just hoping we have enough pieces to just kind of make this work. We may not. We have to find out. But first things first is just getting the stove into the cabin. That's kind of like the first step, you know, like get it in there, then we can know like proper measurements and stuff like that. So we'll see. We're gonna keep grinding, we're gonna keep working, and give you an update. All right, so we got the stove in, you know. We disassembled it into like 4 different pieces and reassembled it back in here. Not fully. A lot of this is obviously temporary. Most of what we're doing is temporary. The chimney smokestack part ain't working. The black part right on top was just leftover pieces. Actually, it's all leftover pieces, but I just tried to modify it and make it work for this stove. And it's obviously way too big. It's not gonna work. They do have an opening up here in the roof, or in the side of the wall, I guess. And yeah, we just weren't sure how tall this thing was going to be in here. And honestly, it was so heavy, we weren't even quite sure we could get it in here and how far we would get today. But we disassembled it, Ashley polished it up, cleaned it, and we brought it up here and assembled it. There's still some of the cosmetic pieces, but this is the most of it. And this is what we got going so far. We're thinking tomorrow we'll make a run into town and go to Home Depot or something, go to a big box store and see if we can get the proper parts for the chimney, and just some other things that we need. So we'll see if we can get the right stuff tomorrow. If not, we gotta, I guess, go online and try to find some stuff and then order it. We'll see. Actually, it's not bad. We actually got further than I thought we would today with it, because it was old and rusty, and I wasn't quite sure how easily it would come apart. But after I cut the bolts off and just hit it loose with a rubber mallet, it just kind of came apart pretty easily, actually. So more to come. All right, so here it is with some of the I guess accented pieces. We did our best. Well, Ashley did her best to kind of clean them up, but we just did a quick version of this again just to get it inside the cabin. But you could see these, they're still pretty tarnished and there's rust on them. They look a lot better, so that's cool. And I thought they were brass because they kind of had a goldish color to them, but after they got polished a little bit, it almost looks like a chrome finish on there. Not quite sure what it was supposed to be, but yeah, this is what we got so far. This is our antique potbelly stove. I think tomorrow, again, we're going to go into town and see about doing the chimney part, and hopefully we get that figured out so we can get this thing working.
Okay, so first time we tried our wood burning stove, we got a lot of smoke in the cabin, so we retook it apart, and it's kind of hard to see here, but we have all of the parts separated, and I'm taking the grinding wheel and just kind of cleaning up the edges here, wherever it's going to meet up, make sure that all of the rust and everything is off and out of there. And then we are going to put on some stove sealer in between these joints, and then reassemble it so that we can make sure the smoke's not coming out of the stove. And we're also working on updating our little chimney. So Andrew is over here working on that. You can see him down here. He's got his own little setup. That's concrete board that he's gonna put up the wall to help make sure we don't burn down our cabin. It's the last thing we want to do. That's what we got going on today. Wish us luck so that we can get this up and going and not freeze in the house anymore. We have another snowstorm coming next week, and it'd be really nice if we can have this working so we can stay warm. So we'll give you an update as soon as we've got it all put back together.
All right, so update on the potbelly stove. We did some modification up there. So we added more cement board, and originally they just cut a 6-inch hole in the side of the cabin and ran the pipe straight through. And you could see, you know, charring on the wood. You could tell that whatever they did before was a fire hazard. So, I mean, it's not the best, but you know, we just did what we could. And I removed the wood and I put all cement board all inside there, all around the 2x4s, the beams in there. We put foil tape and all that. Okay, so we had the stove disassembled and we resealed it with this stove and gasket cement, which seemed to help pretty well. Now it's nice and sealed. Before it was kind of, you know, have smoke coming out of some of the parts we took, some of the areas we disassembled. But yeah, so we got better stove piping. It's all just single wall, simple basic stuff. And then on the outside, we kind of just made it work. Definitely not to code. This isn't great, and honestly I'm not very happy about it, but you know, obviously it's tilted all sideways, and the longer chrome part was just leftover material here. And we're gonna redo this the correct way and to code with the correct parts. But you know, this snow, this cold weather coming in, we just needed to get some warmth. You know, we're just going through this snowstorm. There's still, you know, snow on the ground, you know, you see it. And at nighttime, it is really cold. Like we're sleeping with like 2 sweaters on. We got like 8 blankets. So we just needed to get something working. It's not the best, it's not the prettiest, but it's doing good, you know? we have a fire. And hopefully this thing will get nice and warm. Obviously the cabin's not insulated, so it's not going to hold the heat for very long, but you know, something is better than nothing, because we have nothing. So we're happy for now, and yeah, we'll keep you guys posted.